Hello everyone and welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Dean and as promised I'm about to do my top 10 current ongoing comic titles. Well, when I say ongoing, I mean currently running because an ongoing has like no scheduled ending yet. But 2 out of these are limited series I think, so technically not ongoings. You'll catch up soon enough. Let's dive right in, starting with a couple of honorable mentions that I couldn't put in the top 10, but I still really wanted to name. We've got Fantastic Four. This is the newest issue by Ryan North, and it's usually Humberto Ramos on the artwork, I think. I love Ryan North's writing. I love his Fantastic Four specifically. I love Fantastic Four overall. I don't really like Humberto Ramos' artwork. And the thing is, his previous volume on Fantastic Four, Ryan North's previous volume on Fantastic Four, I loved that. That was amazing. It had me hooked from issue 1. And his current volume, that's on issue 14 now, just hasn't reached the same highs yet. Like I said, it's on issue 14 now. And with his previous volume, we were already on the Doomasaur with issue 11 or 12, you know? So, yeah, that's kind of a shame. Hopefully the series will catch up soon enough, but for now, it's just not in my current favorites. Then, another honorable mention is Daredevil by Stephanie Williams and Lee Garbett. So far it's a ton of fun. Daredevil is like my favorite fictional character of all time probably. I really didn't like the last run by Saladin Ahmed. But Phillips and... Did I say Stephanie Phillips earlier? I hope so. By Stephanie Phillips and Lee Garbett. It's fun so far, but it's only 4 issues in and it's not like a ton has happened yet so far. I do really like the artwork. Action is pretty cool. I'm quite I have hope in this series, you know. Then 2 honorable mentions that for the same reason are not in my that share a reason why they're not in my top 10. It's Action Comics and Superman. Currently the reign of Superboy's arc. Well, I guess that has just ended. Action Comics Amazing Anniversary issue 1100, Superman issue 40 over here. Those are the newest issues of those 2 runs. And well, I loved the Superboy Prime arc. It's if this was like its own limited series, it might have been my favorite series of the year. But because I haven't read anything before that, and because I don't know what the series will be like after this, I'm not gonna put it in my top 10 ongoings for now. But if you asked me before this issue, when the Primetime arc was still going, yeah, it would absolutely have been up there. And same for Action Comics. I love the Young Clark stuff. That was really cool. And with Booster Gold, Martian Manhunter, Mary Marvel, loved it. But because I have no idea what the series will be like after this, and I have no idea what the series was like the months before the reign of Superboy's arc, it's not in my current top 10. But the last like 5, was it 5? Yeah, I think so. The last 5 issues have been amazing, and it's really cool to see that Superman's back. Spoiler alert, if you hadn't heard it already. Alright, now it's actually time for my top 10. And in 10th place is Batwoman by Greg Rucka and Dani. And oh my god, let me by the way make very clear that 10th place is not last place, because I'm reading like 30 something titles at the moment. So 10th place is really high. I love this series. And Greg Rucka's writing is of course phenomenal. Greg Rucka's amazing. But it's genuinely not why I'm reading this series. Like, the story could have been awful and I would still be reading it because I just love Dani's artwork so much. It's so stylized and so unique and cool, and it just oozes style, you know what I mean? And I don't know, oh god, I shouldn't be blanking on her name right now. I want to say Cat Kane, but it's Kate Kane. I don't even know Kate Kane that well as a character, and what I love about the Next Level series is that they all keep in mind that they should be pulling in new readers. I think DC is currently handling that very well, because, well, like I said, Batwoman is one of my favorite current titles, and I really don't know the character that well, or her history, but Dani's artwork is just amazing. Every panel is like, well, obviously it's artwork, but every panel is so beautiful, and there's a really well, not fun, but there's a really intriguing story in there as well. In 9th place is Absolute Wonder Woman by Kelly Thompson and mostly by Hayden Sherman. Well, I should admit, I haven't read a lot of Wonder Woman stories before picking up Absolute Wonder Woman. and it was the last absolute title I started picking up, to be honest. Like I jumped on with like issue 7 and then just read the first arc back, you know. It's amazing. Hayden Sherman's artwork and paneling is really unique and creative, and it's just distinctly his style. And Kelly Thompson just really gets this character, and they make such together they create such a strong story for such a strong protagonist. And I think out of all the titles that I'm pulling, that, well, Absolute Wonder Woman might be the best as its lead character. I'm not entirely sure about that. Don't quote me on that. But it's amazing. And, well, what I love about her is just how competent she is. Like, she marks the other Absolute titles in terms of how much she's able to do, I think. At least there were points where she did. And I just love that about her. Wonder Woman is such a strong protagonist. The first arc was already a ton of fun, and after that it was just mind-blowing, you know? So yeah, I look forward to Wonder Woman every single month. And then in 8th place might be quite an unexpected pick for, well, some people, I don't know. The Fury of Firestorm. This is one of the limited series that I was talking about. And do I really know, well, did I really know Firestorm before picking this up? Yes and no. I had honestly no idea what his comics were like, but I did watch the CW Flash TV show as a kid a lot. Then he was in that time travel show, what's it called? The Legends of Tomorrow. And Firestorm was always one of my favorites on there. I thought Firestorm was really, really sick. And this series really keeps in mind that people might not know Firestorm because he doesn't have his own, or well, he hasn't had his own solo series since the 90s, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But it's amazing. The artwork is beautiful, especially the flashback sequences. I really like the coloring in those. And it's just something really special. A very, very interesting study of who the character is, or who these characters are actually, and what this character is without its characters, if that makes sense. The Firestorm Matrix is just without a person attached to it, and that makes for a very, very compelling story. In 7th place, which is quite a hot take, is, well, the most popular series of the 21st century, maybe so far. It's Absolute Batman by Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta. Funny story, I used to be not as high on this series as I am now, and I know even now I am lower than most people because it's in my 7th place and not my 1st place, and I feel like this is like the fan favorite right now. But I liked the first couple of issues, and then for like, what was it, like 10 something issues, I was like, it kind of lost its point, so to say. It was more about, or well, I felt that it was more about the horror villains instead of what if Batman was different. And then I realized I was just looking at it completely wrong. And I should still reread the series in full because I've only read each issue once so far. But it's just amazing. Is it kind of aura farming the comic? Yes, in some ways. But it's also such a compelling story. And I feel like the way they're approaching Absolute Batman is quite new for the comic book medium. I don't read a ton of manga, but from what I can gather from what people are saying, this is like structured as a shonen manga. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I think it's really interesting how it approached that. And the fact that the first saga is 50 issues is insane because it already feels so big. And well, we're at issue 22 now. They announced some stuff for issues 20 up till issue 25. And I can't even imagine what they're going to do after that. So yeah, no, Absolute Batman, it's a banger. I give it all the credit. It's amazing, of course. It's groundbreaking. Then in 6th place, I hope I can win you guys back over for putting Absolute Batman so low. In 6th place is Geiger. I've got issue 24 here, Junkyard Joe Unleashed. Geiger is amazing. The only stuff of the Ghost Machine things or Unnamed Universe, I don't know how that works actually. I'm gonna dive deeper into that someday. But the only stuff I've read of the Unnamed Universe and also of Ghost Machine as a whole are Geiger up till issue 24 and the Junkyard Joe miniseries. I really want to dive into Redcoat. I have the first issue, might just get some of the trades. But Geiger is so fantastic. Geiger is so unique, and it's cast. I mean, Junker Joe and Geiger are probably two of my favorite protagonists of, well, any recent comic, maybe. They're so pure in such a raw, dark world, and that just really makes me feel something special, you know? Gary Frank on the beautiful, beautiful artwork, it's amazing. And this is a matter of preference. For some comics, I would like this, for some comics, I wouldn't. But what I quite like about Geiger is that it isn't very episodic. It's like one long story, you know? And for some comics, I think the charm is that it's quite episodic, like Ryan North's Fantastic Four. But for Geiger, I love that it's just one big story and we're just seeing like parts of it every month. Well, I wish it was every month because it's so good. It's always such a treat when Geiger comes out. Then on to the next one. The next is The Dead Man, and this is the second limited series that I was talking about. The Dead Man by W. Maxwell Prince and Martin Morazzo. I've only read 2 issues so far. It's 2 issues in. Well, issue 3 released this week. I'm gonna pick it up later today. I'm very excited to read this. That man's going to hell, and then the issue after that he's going to heaven. I can't wait to see what that's going to be like. But The Dead Man, yeah, no, it's such a banger so far. And again, with Dead Man, Boston Red, I had basically no idea who he was before picking this series up. But Next Level and DC as a whole just manages so well to pull in new readers. And I think that's part of where Marvel is really lacking, by making like sequels to books and stuff, and producing books that are set in the past and then in during one specific time period. And that way it's just so hard to get into. And DC is just like, here's a new book, pick it up, this is a new beginning, you know? And I love it for that, actually. I discovered Morazzo and Prince through Superman the Kryptonite Spectrum, which is an amazing book. It's, well, maybe one of my favorite comics I've read so far this year. I love Martin Morazzo's artwork. In fact, I have the Deadman poster over there. And if you can see it all the way in the back there, next to the Doomsday Clock poster. It's amazing so far. It's hilarious, but also really dark. And, you know, being that really, really sucks from this, what I can gather from this book, actually. But for being that, Boston Red doesn't have it all that bad, you know? This issue was hilarious with Plastic Man and Batman. And, oh god, I forgot his name, but Batman's like only real friend is a kid. I think his name is Billy. I'm not entirely sure on that. But he says something in this issue, and man, I could still like have actual tears from laughing when thinking of that line. It's hilarious. Correction, his name is Bobby, not Billy, Bobby. He helped the Deadman out, and Deadman thanks him for that. And then Bobby says, I once fed cat's ear to a horsey, but he fell over and died on the spot. Out of nowhere. And I actually read the whole page back like, did I miss something? Why the hell would he say that? But that's literally just what he says. And god, I can't even explain why it's so hilarious to me, but that just caught me so off guard. And I've been saying it non-stop ever since picking up Deadman issue 2. They extended this series from 6 issues to 12 issues. I honestly thought it was an ongoing. I wouldn't have minded it being an ongoing, but it's a limited series for now, 12 issues. I guess we'll just have to deal with that. And I can't wait to see what the next 10 issues will bring us. Now, it's time to crack into the top 4. With in 4th place being The Flash by Ryan North and Kevin Guidry. Just like Superman and Action Comics, I started picking this series up a couple of issues ago, specifically when Ryan North and Kevin Guidry took over the book, which was issue 31. And the first arc is amazing so far. Wally can see into the future, kind of. He can see like parts of the future. He calls it his flash of insight, and he's training that. And while he's doing that, people are just, well, trying to kill themselves so the Flash will save them, and that's a social media trend. And the Flash like, what the hell is going on? And it was a hilarious opening arc, and seeing Wally train this new power was pretty damn cool. And now he's just, I guess, testing his powers out and taking up his rogues. Heatwave was in this issue, and he was just such a child, you know, but it was hilarious to see that. So yeah, no, Guidry's charming artwork works really, really well with Ryan North's kind of, how do you say it, like, can I say retro writing? I feel like Ryan North really appreciates like Silver Age goofiness, and Kevin Guidry's charm just really fits with kind of something old school, so to say. I hadn't read a ton of Wally stuff before this. This is really a theme in my top 10. But I love Wally West now, and I can't wait to dive deeper into his history. Then I guess it's time to dive into the top 3 already. We're going through it really quick. And you know what's actually crazy that I just now realized? Well, I've been thinking about this a lot actually, but I just realized for the first time while recording this video. There's no Marvel titles in my top 10. That might be a little bit of a spoiler for my top 3, because if you've like seen all my content in like shorts, reels, and TikToks, then you could probably guess what my top 3 is. But I thought a year ago, like more than half of my top 10 would have been Marvel. I just think Marvel has kind of been, or well, kind of, Marvel has really been lacking with their ongoings the last, well, couple of years maybe overall. But ever since the Ultimate Universe got kind of got ended in such a weird way, I've lost a lot more faith in Marvel than I already had. And you can actually see that most of my wall is now DC as well. Well, some indies too, but more DC than Marvel at the moment, which I would never have thought. Most of the posters in my room are DC now as well, which is just crazy. I used to be like the Marvel guy, you know, but oh well, let's dive into the top 3. In third place is Bleeding Hearts by Dennis Kemp and Stephen Moran. What a banger of a book. I usually don't care too much for zombie stories, but I do care a lot for Dennis Kemp stories, and this is an amazing one. They're such a great pair, Stephen Moran and Dennis Kemp. When we got first introduced to this concept, you knew exactly what like the government would be like in this Dennis Kemp world, you know. And it's not subtle, of course, which I love, but it's so unique, and so far it's got me really off guard with its twists and turns, and I love Poke as a main character. Never would have expected what happened to Mush, to be honest. I kind of thought he would maybe be won over, or at least that he would be like the villain for like a while now, for a while from now, I should say. And it's just crazy. Every issue has got me by surprise so far. It's a banger. If you're not picking this up, really check it out. Especially if you like zombie stories already, because I didn't really before reading this, but it actually won me over, and I should probably try out more zombie stories. And well, of course, always try more Dennis Kemp stories because he's the GOAT. But okay, I should keep myself contained. It's time to move on to number 2. And my second favorite current running comic is Absolute Superman, of course. Currently, the artwork is done by Rafa Sandoval. I do have to say my favorite artist on this book is Juan Ferreira. Jason Aaron has such a way with words, and well, the most recent issue I read is issue 21 from last month. Issue 22 is on shelf since this week. I haven't read it yet. I'm also gonna pick that up later today. I can't wait to read it. I already got some spoilers, but it looks so cool. And Absolute Superman, yet it's such a raw embodiment of hope and, well, finding your place in the universe. And it's really heartbreaking at times, but also so beautiful. It has me smiling, but also like kind of tearing up at moments, you know. And it's in a way a darker Superman done right, actually. Even though it's not like Superman himself is not that dark, but what he sacrifices to be Superman, that's what the dark part is. Editor here. Also, the world he lives in, obviously. The Absolute Universe is such a messed up place, and Superman's hope really makes the world better to live in. That's what makes it a darker Superman done right. Ever since Absolute Martian Manhunter ended, it's gotta be my favorite Absolute book. If not just my favorite, well, it's actually just my favorite DC book at the moment. Such a banger. If you're not picking this up and you don't want to read the whole series back, I would recommend starting at issue 15, but really read the whole series back because it's such a banger. Kind of a slow burn at first, but really a banger. Now, it's time to dive into my favorite current comic. And of course, my favorite current comic is the Sword Crisis event. And before you start the discussion, I think it's still ongoing. I'm not entirely sure. But someone in my comments on, I think it was TikTok, maybe Instagram, said that they're working on like kind of a buffer now, so that should they ever fall behind again, that they will just have issues for the months ahead, and that way they can just keep it an ongoing instead of like every now and then, which I think is an amazing idea. But I already said in a post that, well, should they choose to end it, of course I'll just make my peace with it, you know. But I don't want to. But it's just like, it's such a stupid comparison. But it's just like Smiling Friends. I would have loved more, but if they don't have any more stories to tell, well, they don't have any more stories to tell. For now, we're on 9 issues so far, and I think every single one has been a banger. Camp and Sebastian are really not subtle about how horrible this world can be, and that actually makes it crazy that I like it, because, well, I usually love really hopeful comics, but it's really dark and kind of confronting. But you know what? Some comics just, well, need that, so to say, and I think without comics like this that confront like the darkest parts of our world, that also makes like the hopeful comics a lot better, because then we actually have some contrast, you know. Obviously this issue 9, but issue 8, the one that was printed on newspaper, was such a banger. Like, maybe my favorite single issue of all time, or at least it could very well be up there. Issue 9 was a very clear criticism on the job market, and how horrible that can be, and how its current structure is just, well, useless, honestly. And with beautiful artwork and like some really cool like sci-fi-esque concepts, it's always an amazing read. Kemp is my favorite writer at the moment. He might be he might be among my favorite writers of all time, actually, with his current run. I mean, 20th Century Man, most of Ultimates, Absolute Martian Manhunter, Bleeding Hearts, Sword Crisis Events. It's amazing. I can't wait for Shadow of the Bat, by the way. But I shouldn't get distracted. We were talking about the Sword Crisis Events. It's amazing. It's an anthology. Please pick it up. You don't have to read every single issue, but really, it would be better if you did, because every issue is amazing. It's just a lesson, and it really captures, well, the spirit of most comic books, but in such a unique way, just like his other books. It's really unique, and I love it for that. Every time a new issue comes out, it's a treat. And well, I look forward to this for like half a year. It was supposed to release in March, but it got released July 15th. Yeah, or well, at least last month somewhere. I wish we wouldn't have had to wait so long, but the wait was absolutely worth it. It's a banger. Well, those are my top 10 current running comic titles. Do you agree or not? Let me know. What are your favorite current comic titles? I would love to hear. Yeah, I love these titles so much. I would highly recommend each one of them, obviously, otherwise they wouldn't be in my top 10. For my next video, I guess you'll just have to wait and see what that's going to be. You'll find out soon enough. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned by subscribing, checking out my shorts, TikToks, Reels, whatever your preferred social media platform is. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.